the White House has announced that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin will meet in Anchorage in Alaska this Friday to discuss the war in Ukraine. The Trump administration called the meeting a listening exercise, which the American president hopes will bring an end to the war. The meeting will take place without Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, though, who is highly sceptical about what it can achieve. Overnight, President Zelensky claimed Russia is moving troops to the border to prepare for a new offensive. While White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt says Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to secure a ceasefire.
This administration has really used every lever, has taken every measure to achieve peace through a diplomatic solution. And I think the President of the United States getting in the room with the President of Russia, sitting face to face rather than speaking over the telephone, will give this president the best indication of how to end this war and where this is headed.
David Blevins has more now from Washington, D.C.
Yes, I think it's telling that the President's press secretary is now describing the summit in Alaska as a listening exercise where the President hopes to gain what she describes as a better understanding. That echoes what he said himself yesterday when he described the meeting as a feel-out opportunity where he would be able to assess the parameters of any potential deal. Now, when asked if that meant they were now tempering expectations, Karoline Leavitt said it was possible to be both hopeful and measured because President Trump remains committed to bringing this war to an end, but recognises that he's only meeting with one of the two sides on Friday. And it is the fact that he's only meeting with one of the two sides that is causing European leaders so much concern, because they fear without Zelensky in the room, Ukraine could be sidelined. And the Ukrainian president himself fears that Trump and Putin may seek to impose a deal upon him that requires him to cede land he says he doesn't have the approval to cede. Now, we know that the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has spoken to the Russian foreign minister today in preparation for Friday's meeting. We know also there is much more talking to be done before we get to Friday, because European leaders will meet virtually with President Zelensky tomorrow and will also meet virtually alongside Zelensky with the US President and the US Vice President J.D. Vance too. And perhaps after all of those meetings, things may become a little bit clearer.